Alright people, this is Brad the Lad back again with another video, and today this is the Phil Neville show. It is Wednesday. I must warn you, there is going to be background noise. The reason I'm not in my room today is because my room is actually being done. I'm taking there's a bunk bed in my room, obviously, you've seen it before, and it's been taken down, so I'm going to be doing my recording in here today. There will be the Phil Neville training session though at 7, so don't worry about that. So there will probably be a lot of distractions throughout this video. Screaming parrots, crazy dog, all sorts. So let's get into the show. So I haven't actually prepared anything for today. Poor organisation there from me. But obviously this weekend it's not been a good week for VAR. Obviously there was the Chelsea-Tottenham incident where Lo Celso avoided a red card. That's the parrot whistling. Lo Celso avoided a red card for I don't think there's an intentional stamp, but for serious foul play on Cesar Azpilicueta, and I think it should have been, a red card. Referee Michael Oliver didn't see it. The fourth official, who was standing basically right in front of it, didn't see it. VAR didn't think it was a red card either. They didn't think any punishment was required. Everybody thinks it's a red card, and so do I. But yeah, not a good one there. Burnley against Bournemouth. Burnley are actually chasing a possible Champions League place, obviously, if City don't get their appeal overturned. Burnley doing well. They won 3-0 against Bournemouth, who are threatened by relegation at the moment. Obviously, we saw Burnley go behind. Bournemouth scored through Josh King, a handball by Philip Billing. I thought it was a bit of a harsh decision. And then moments later in the second half, because Burnley actually did go 1-0 up through Matic Vidra, back-to-back goals for him, scored against Southampton and then scored last week against Bournemouth. The goal from, obviously, Harry Wilson, which was the equaliser for Bournemouth, was disallowed. But at the other end, Burnley's cross came to the box and it was handball by Adam Smith. So they disallowed the Bournemouth goal. They went straight to the other end. Mike Dean pointed to the spot and awarded Burnley a penalty. Good penalty from Jay Rodriguez, who scored in the reverse fixture against Bournemouth as well in a 1-0 win at the Vitality Stadium. The third goal came from Dwight McNeil. He's a really good player in my opinion. And yeah, great win for Burnley. They're currently, I don't think they're 8th. They were 8th. I remember that. They were 1 point behind United. United won 3-0 against Watford, my birthday victory. So thank you, United, for that win. So yeah, it was a good weekend for Man United. We're 3 points off the top 4. We're right back in the race. We play Everton at Goodison Park this weekend. I'm not too sure how we're going to get on there because Everton have been really, really good. They were unlucky against Arsenal. I thought they played well and competed well at the Emirates, but Ancelotti is doing bits at Everton, and I'm hoping we don't repeat another 4-0 defeat like we did last season. That was dreadful. One of the worst days as a United fan in my life. So a couple of positive results. Hopefully we can back it up with a third result to come. Obviously it's also the League Cup final as well this week. Aston Villa taking on Manchester City at Wembley Stadium. So that game has been postponed, obviously due to both teams' participation in the Carabao Cup final. So yeah, it should be an interesting Sunday. Everton, Man United in a Carabao Cup final. Spurs against Wolves is going to be a good game as well. But yeah, some interesting games this week. Friday night, Norwich City play Leicester. If Norwich are going to stand any chance of surviving in this league, in my opinion, I think they've got to win on Friday against Leicester. But yeah, the relegation battle is looking quite difficult at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be a decent weekend. There's a few games on Saturday. Brighton against Palace. I don't know what the derby's called, but big rivals, Brighton and Palace, started all the way back in 1977. Terry Venables and Alan Mullery, the two managers, all kicked off from there. 43 years later, Brighton and Palace meet at the Amex. It's going to be an interesting game. It's live on BT. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Palace won their first game of 2020 against Newcastle last weekend on my birthday, and Brighton haven't won in 2020 yet. So maybe this could be the game for them. I think it's a must-win game for Brighton because it's got a difficult run of fixtures to come after this game. They play Arsenal are one of those teams, United are one of those teams, Liverpool and Manchester City as well. So, Brighton have got some work to do. So, it's going to be quite interesting how the season goes. The relegation battle is looking quite tight. It's looking difficult. West Ham gave Liverpool a good test on Monday night. It finished 3-2 to Liverpool. West Ham actually did take a 2-1 lead, but Liverpool came back and won the game 3-2 and just keep winning and winning and winning and winning. I apologise for the background, birds screaming. Happens all the time. So, yeah, it's been a very, very interesting week in terms of football. Now let's move on to League One. I'm going to move on to League One. So, Blackpool sacked their manager Simon Grayson after one win in 12. They actually have apparently approached Carl Robinson, the Oxford United manager, and Oxford United have turned that appeal down. So I wonder, no, not the appeal, the approach down. So I wonder who would take over at Blackpool. There is, would they pick a manager that was managing the Premier League? I'm not too sure. They won't bring Ian Holloway back, I know that for sure, because he's at Grimsby Town. There's Nathan Jones, I think he's the main contender. There's David Dunn. There's a few other ex-players as well. There's there's Kevin Phillips maybe, or Charlie Adam, weirdly, was on this sack race thing. So I wonder who would take over at Blackpool. Very, very interesting that. So yeah, guys, I'm just talking random football here today. I haven't actually prepared like a sheet or anything. I'm going to do some Premier League predictions maybe tomorrow. Then I'm going to start doing my career modes. I don't know what to do actually at the moment because I want to do a FIFA 20 career mode. I'm thinking about maybe doing a Luton Town career mode, maybe. But on FIFA 13, a game I absolutely love, I've got some considerations. I've had Plymouth, I've had Carlisle. Those two look like quite interesting games to look at. Not games, sorry, career modes to look at. But yeah, I have started from the bottom and reached the top. In a way, I went from Morecambe to Yeovil, who I took to the Championship, then took on a Leeds job, and then I went to Stoke. Stoke are currently in my league, currently 11th. I've gone to Crystal Palace, so I'm wondering where we can go from there. So guys, I'm going to end the video there. The Phil Neville training session today will be with Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's a flashback episode today, guys, because the first ever training session I did was with Phil, was at Wolves, and I actually never really got to show you the training session in full. You only saw my face because I couldn't record it. I don't know why, I just couldn't. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you all soon. Goodbye.